Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Wrestling Unlimited as it's Monday. Tonight was Monday Night Raw. Now, I need you guys' opinion. We did this over the weekend. We're doing it again. What do you think of the colors? Uh-oh. I just froze. Give me 1 second. My camera just froze. There we go. What do you think of the colors in the background? Is it too much red? Is it too much red? Because I got 3 lights there. One on each edge and then the one in the middle. Like, I can maybe tone it down a little bit. I don't know if it's too much red. Like, I could just turn the one in the middle off, or we could just there. But now it's kind of giving me an orange vibe. I wanted to, we're on Monday Night Raw, so everything should be red. Usually it looks like this. Alexa, change studio to blue. Alexa, change studio to blue. Red. We could do what we normally do and just red the edges. But what do you guys think? Put this back up to about 10% like it normally is. What do you guys like best? What looks more appealing to your guys' eyes is the question, because you're the one looking at it. No Luke tonight because he's got school stuff. But what do you like better? All red. I see Wayne says, no, not Wayne. Elite says too much red. Yeah, that's what I thought too. It looks like those special night Tim and missing rose petals. What do you mean missing rose petals? I don't know what you're talking about there, bud. Missing rose petals. I don't know. People saying all red. Let's go all red. Go all red. We're not going to have it as bright in the middle, though. Well, what if I... Yeah, no. Let's do this. Let's do this. And there we go. All right, we'll keep that and see what's up. Jordan in the Twitch chat is also saying he likes it all red. All right, cool. We'll keep that. We'll keep that then. But with that, Monday Night Raw was tonight. It was the Raw after WrestleMania. It was a great show, fun show, quick show. Like, it was 3 hours, but it didn't feel like 3 hours at all. So Drew McIntyre comes out for the main event. And it's like, okay, there's only 30 minutes left in the show. Holy crap, this show is almost over. But that 30 minutes felt so long in itself, because we got so many commercials. They would literally go to commercial, come back for 90 seconds, go to commercial, come back for 90 seconds, go to commercial. Because we had the first hour was no commercial. So they had to load up the back half of the show with extra commercials. And it took a toll on that main event. I'm going to say it right now. Watching it at home, it took a big toll on that main event. And it got it to where, like, for the most part, I wasn't even invested or cared about the main event, because it was just like, all right, we're getting another commercial here in a second. We're going to get like 2 spots in a commercial. 2 spots in a commercial. So, and they did that till about 10 minutes left of the show. And then we went a good couple of minutes, maybe like 4 or 5. Then got the final break. Maybe like 3 or 4. Well, regardless, way too many commercials during that last 30 minutes and the main event of the show. But we'll get into all that. We'll talk about all that once we do. And with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember to head over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we go live. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we post things to the community tab and so forth. Also, remember, if you want to support the channel, you can do so by hitting that join button and becoming a channel member. Even at the $1 tier, it is greatly, greatly appreciated. And finally, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're claiming the free games, the Outer Worlds, or Thief. Use the code. Put this code in. You're not paying anything, so why not take an extra 5-10 seconds to type PWU and LIMITED. So, as far as Raw does go, they announced nothing ahead of the show other than two things. 3 hours or so before the show went on the air, they told us that the first hour is commercial free. They did a video with Adam Pearce, and they said the first hour is commercial free. Then, if you were watching on the USA Network, about 10 minutes or so before Raw started, they ran the last of the commercials during 911, I think is what the show was. And when those commercials started, it was a live cut in like they always do from the building. It was Michael Cole saying, "We got the Raw after WrestleMania coming to you from the Wells Fargo Center." And kicking off tonight's show will be the new WWE Undisputed Champion, Cody Rhodes. So we knew Cody was kicking off the show. The show goes on the air. And after the signature, we went straight to the sold-out Wells Fargo Center. And we hear, "Dum, dum, time to play the game." So Triple H comes out. But he's not just Triple H. They announce him and put the graphic on the screen that says, making his way to the ring, the Chief Content Officer, Paul Triple H Levesque. So they're really going full bore into this. Hey, his real name's Paul. His real name's Paul Levesque. Great loud reaction from what they said was the 20,000 people in attendance. So I'm still calling him Triple H. He's still Triple H to me. Triple H comes down to the ring and says that this was the greatest WrestleMania of all time this past weekend. He said that he simply wanted to say thank you to the fans. He continued by saying that on Saturday he had the privilege of welcoming everybody to the new era of WWE. And then he introduces the new undisputed WWE Heavyweight Champion, Cody Rhodes. So think about that. He introduced the undisputed WWE Heavyweight Champion, not the Universal, not the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, undisputed WWE Heavyweight Champion. So are they going away from the Universal name? We'll talk about that more in a second. Cody makes his way out to the ring to a huge ovation from the crowd. Samantha Irvin introduces him as the new undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Cody gets into the ring and he shakes hands with Triple H. Fans start chanting, "You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it." And Triple H is like, "I'm going to give you the ring, but before that, there's something I have for you." A couple of our production guys called from Stanford and they were like, "Hey, we've got something that we want to give to Cody. What do you think?" And there was a video. And he said, "I watched this video." And then basically he was like, "I can't just share this with only you. I need to share this with everybody." He then goes, "And also, we don't got the big screen here like we normally do because we didn't use it so we can get more seats and more people in this building. That's why we have random monitors placed all around. We're a little bootleg here tonight, but we're going to watch this video." And so this video plays, and it is basically a recap of most of Cody's career, all of Cody's career in WWE. There are some pictures of him from outside of WWE here, and it was great. It was awesome. They kept doing a split screen to show Cody almost basically crying. And so, yeah. Great video, great video. Triple H then gives him the ring, and we go forward. Josh in the YouTube chat, I have no clue what you're talking about. We did not see a new championship belt tonight. Did you see the new WWE championship belt? Championship? No. There was no new WWE championship on Raw. Unless you saw something leaked on Twitter, I didn't see it. Anywho. Video concludes. Triple H gives Cody a hug, a long hug. He says something to him we don't hear, and the fans keep chanting, "You deserve it." Cody then says, "So, Raw after WrestleMania, Philadelphia. What do you want to talk about?" Cody then says, wait. Before all of that, hold on. Samantha, I need something from you. And she's like, I know what you want. He goes, can I just get it one more time? And then she does it. Ladies and gentlemen, the new undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And so, yeah, she does the whole intro thing again. Rhodes continues by saying that these last 2 years have been long. He laid out all of his goals, and last night, those dreams became reality. He said that the air in Philadelphia was feeling a bit thin because he and everybody were now on the top of the mountain. Rhodes discussed the former champion, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. He said that we didn't have to like Roman Reigns, but we had to acknowledge that he was the champion for 1,316 days. Fans then start chanting, "Thank you, Roman." And I'm like, oh, damn. Okay. So Rhodes then says that Reigns was, quote, the most important superstar of this generation, and that he was the man destined to defeat him. He told everyone to direct their attention to the screen for the reason for why he does all of this, for why he does everything. And it was a video of his daughter Liberty saying, "Papa, finish the story. Papa, finish the story." They got me. It choked me up a little bit, especially as somebody with kids and more specifically a daughter. Punk. Or not Punk. Someone said Punk in the chat and it got me. Rhodes talked about that this was a unique predicament because the line is something he's usually in and now it's behind him. He then said, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Cody Rhodes, once undesirable, became undeniable, and now undisputed WWE Universal Champion." So Cody said Universal, so now I'm just like, okay, is it Universal or not? And as he says that, the crowd erupts, and then we hear, "If you smell what the Rock is cooking." And out comes Dwayne. Out comes the final boss with his People's Championship in tow, with his People's Championship over his shoulder. So, with microphone in hand, Rock stares down Rhodes. Rhodes looks right back at him. Crowd starts chanting, "Undertaker, Undertaker." The crowd continues to boo Rock, and Rock doesn't say a single word. Rock then says, now, The Rock says it. Excuse me, I'm trying not to burp. Now, The Rock says a lot of things. What sucks isn't one of them. Rock started this off before the crowd was booing and this and that, and they started chanting "asshole," and they had to bleep it and mute it and so forth. Rock said that he came to deliver flowers to Cody Rhodes and to announce to Philadelphia that they have broken the record for the largest gathering of trailer park trash ever. Kyle Lally booed again and chanted, "Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up." I'm like, holy crap. Again, Josh, no clue what you're talking about. maybe you can DM it to me on Twitter, either at Timmy Buddy or PW Unlimited, but I have no clue what you're talking about. So Rock continued again by saying that he came out here with no fireworks or blood spilled, and that he wanted to, well, acknowledge Cody and everything he was able to overcome. Said he defeated Roman Reigns 1, 2, 3 and completed the story. Talked about how Mama Rhodes should be proud of her son and how Dusty was probably smiling in heaven. Rock then talked about how his People's Champion belt meant something before, asking if there was any way he can hold Cody's belt. Like, I've held a lot of titles in my life, but I've never held that one. Cody was like, all right, but you gotta let me hold yours. And The Rock was a little hesitant at first, and they swapped belts for a second. Rock then said, I just gotta say, this just kind of feels right. And then he hands the title back to Cody, and I go, oh no. Oh my God. Rock then said, I need to let you all know I gotta go away for a little while. You probably already know that, but I gotta go away for a little while. And the crowd starts chanting, na 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 na, na 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 na, hey, 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 goodbye. Na 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 na, na 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 na, hey, 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 goodbye. The Rock kind of just soaks it all in. He said that when he returns, though, coming for Rhodes. Rock said that I will be back, and I will be coming for you. Rock concluded by pointing out how he beat Rhodes on Saturday of WrestleMania. He said Rhodes' story with Roman Reigns, well, that's over. But our story is just beginning. Rhodes then mentions that Rock's role as his literal boss on the TKO board member means that he's got to listen to whatever The Rock says, basically. And he responds by saying that, yes, you're the boss, and I may have to listen to you, but I'm your champion. Rock then said that, I got one last thing for you. He pulls something out of his pocket, and he has his hand like this, so we don't see what it is. And he puts his hand in Cody's hand, and Cody closes his hand or whatever, and they're holding hands, they're shaking or whatever. I don't know what it was that he handed to Cody, but he said, never break the final boss's heart again. And then he left. He walked away. He was gone. But I don't know what at all he handed to Cody. So we can speculate all we want. Oh, challenge coin? $1 bill? I don't know. Fuck if I know. But it was a great segment. 45 minutes of the first hour, all commercial free. First whole hour was commercial free, but this went 45 minutes. And it was good. It was really good. I liked it. They set up that we are going to get Rock and Cody. Rock will return to face Cody Rhodes. And I think Rock's got 2 matches coming. He's going to face Cody first, and then he's going to move in and face Roman. So maybe he faces Cody, and this is just me spitballing ideas, Saudi in November. And then we move to him and Roman at next year's Mania. But yeah, again, all speculation and whatnot. We know we're going to get Cody and Rock. They told us that tonight. So we know that's what we're getting. We just don't know when. But again, like I said, overall, very good opener. Super strong, super good. Just tremendous from all parts. Rock, Roman, or not, no Roman. Rock, Cody, and Triple H. Paul Triple H Levesque. So we got some earlier today arrivals. They showed us Judgment Day arriving with their belts. Awesome Truth arriving with the Raw Tag titles. And Sami Zayn arriving with the Intercontinental Championship and his family. Then we got a match. NXT Champion Ilia Dragunov against Shinsuke Nakamura. This was random, but fun. Dragunov makes his entrance, and Michael Cole goes, hey, Pat, I guess there's something we need to tell the people. On August 26th, which is a SmackDown, we're getting the WWE Draft. It will then continue on April 29th, which is a Monday Night Raw. And so, yeah, it is official. The draft is coming at the end of the month, the week before Backlash. And we'll see how that all plays out. They also told us that Ilia Dragunov has declared for the draft. And I go, what? That's new and different and weird. Because here's the thing. NXT wrestlers have always been available in the draft. Are certain NXT wrestlers not going to be available to be drafted unless they declare? That's the thing. It was odd. But they even put out a post on social media, on Twitter. Let me see if I can find it really fast. I don't know if they showed this for anybody else, but it was... Let me see. It just said that, and right here, yeah. Ilia Dragunov, it says declared. Ilia Dragunov is eligible for the 2024 WWE draft. Weird, he was the only one that they did a post like that for. They didn't do one for like Roxan Perez, who showed up tonight, or anything like that. It was only one for Dragunov, which was very weird. Also, interestingly as well, WWE wasn't really like fully tweeting out everything from Raw. Like if you go on, we'll pull this up real fast. Let me watch. So if we go here, let's go pull this up on the screen. So if like we go here from where Raw starts, the Cody stuff with Triple H and whatnot. And then you scroll up, you got The Rock. Then you go into Dragunov and Nakamura. Then you get this announcement from Dragunov. The Dragunov is going to be in the draft. Judgment Day, which with Truth, we'll talk about here in a second. That was great. We get a draft hype video. But then it's like they have the one short little clip of Roxanne. Barely anything of Liv attacking, like not even showing. Well, I guess they do show it. I was just scrolling through it too fast, I guess, to not notice everything. But regardless, Ilia Dragunov and Shinsuke was a good match, but we need to go to cage match really fast. And look, when's the last time Nakamura's won a god dang match on Raw, on TV at all? Shinsuke Nakamura cage match. This man hasn't won a TV match in months. It feels like. Let me see. Lost tonight. Let's just go. Number one contender match. Lost to Sami Zayn there. Okay, here we go. Hasn't been as long as I thought. So on February 5th, he lost to Cody in the bull rope match. But then the next week, on February 12th, he did beat Sami Zayn. It's only been about 1, 2, 3. So he's lost 4 times on television, if you don't count the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal the other night as well. But yeah, it's just like, even with that one win, though, against Sami, it's like, how infrequent does he win? Because he hasn't had another win since, wow, holy crap, last November. Beat Chad Gable back in November on Raw. Like, come on, do something with Nakamura, please. He's so good. He's so great. Not sure, Josh. Maybe email it. pwunlimitedstaff@gmail.com. Cody's Twitter. Okay, let's go to Cody's Twitter real fast. Like, again, I haven't seen what this belt is. Oh. I see what you're talking about now, Josh. I'm going to pull this up on the screen and explain to you what this actually is. This is not a new WWE championship. So, look at this image here. The caption here does state, when one good story ends, an even better one begins. Now, this is Cody's belt, the Undisputed Championship, the one Cody's got right now. This belt was the belt that they took from Dusty. This belt on the red strap is the exact title. Dusty, I think it was Superstar Billy Graham he beat in Madison Square Garden. And then they said, oh, well, you won by count out. You don't win the belt. You win the match, but not the belt. And so they took the belt from Dusty. This is the belt, the WWF Heavyweight Wrestling Championship that they took from Dusty and MSG. This is not Cody's new belt. This is not something for now. That is the belt they took from Dusty. I guess you could say took from Dusty. But yeah, that's what it is. Dan Lambert had the belt and he gave it to Cody. Anywho, as far as this Dragunov-Nakamura match, Dragunov and Nakamura started things off by trading blows before Nakamura had the early advantage. Dragunov responded with a second rope splash, followed by a series of German suplexes. He got Nakamura with he hit Nakamura with a Constantine special before ascending to the top rope. Dragunov then tried to do something off the top rope. I think he was going for like a senton, but Nakamura dodged at the last second. Nakamura then trapped Dragunov in the corner and hit him with a sliding German suplex. It was an early cover attempt here, but Dragunov kicked out at 2. Nakamura then hit Dragunov with a kick to the back of the head and went for the cover, but the NXT champion kicked out. He caught Dragunov with a knee, but got hit with a kick of his own. Dragunov then flattened Nakamura with an H-bomb before he finished everything up with Torpedo Moscow and picked up the victory. So there we go. NXT champion beating a former NXT champion. So this is really cool. Wasn't expecting this at all. Then we even got the other NXT, the women's champion, Roxan Perez, later too. So let's recap of the World Heavyweight Championship matchup at WrestleMania with Damian Priest's cash-in and all that ensued there. They showed McIntyre arriving at the building as we got a graphic promoting a number one contenders fatal four-way with Ricochet, Jey Uso, McIntyre, and Bronson Reed, where the winner would become the new number one contender and would face Damian Priest in the future. They didn't state when for the title. And when they show this graphic, I go, oh, Jay's got to win. Damian's a babyface, or Damian's a heel. So a babyface has to win. And no offense, it ain't going to be Ricochet. So I knew going into this, once it got announced, that it was going to be Jey Uso. Because it was just process of elimination. It's got to be a babyface because the champion's a heel. And it's not going to be Ricochet, unfortunately. No, I didn't know the Punk was going to screw Drew, and that's how it was all going to go down to be great. But, yeah, Jay being the victor was pretty predictable. Judgment Day was then shown walking around backstage, going towards the ring, and we go to our first commercial break. When we come back, there's a shot of the Wells Fargo Center. We get a recap from WrestleMania XL, specifically the Tag Team Ladder match and the Women's World Heavyweight Championship match. We go to the ring, and there is Finn, JD, and Dom. Fowler started things off by addressing the quote-unquote haters who thought that Rhea Ripley couldn't beat Becky Lynch and Damian Priest could never successfully cash in Money in the Bank. He said they were all wrong. Dominic tried to introduce Rhea Ripley. Crowd booed vigorously, and he eventually got it out, and she came out. And it was funny because Dom's over here. He's like, welcome to the ring. And they're like, boo! The Women's World Heavyweight Champ, boo! And soon as, this is my brutality! Crowd goes wild. They literally go from the moment of, boo! Like all in one moment. It was crazy. Rhea comes down and says WrestleMania was almost perfect. We're going to deal with that later. But two important things happened. Mommy is still on top, and this is a new era of the Judgment Day. Balor would then introduce our new Senior World Heavyweight Champion, Damian Priest. Priest made his way out to the ring. He shared a big embrace with the rest of the group. Fans then started chanting, "You deserve it," at Priest, which he responded with, "You're damn right I deserve it." Priest then said, "This, I can't even not laugh just thinking about this." He goes, "The Terror Twins stand before you as champions." And so he puts his belt up. Rhea then puts her belt up. The camera kind of zooms back, but they don't want to zoom back too far. And I'm like, why is Rhea not in the shot? And then we realize we know why. And all of a sudden, Truth comes in between them with his belt. And he's like, "Hey, y'all." And they're like, "Truth, what the hell are you doing here?" He's like, "It's full circle. You lost the tag titles, but I bought the Raw tag titles back to the Judgment Day." And they're like, "Truth, you're not in the Judgment Day." He's like, "Oh, stop. Of course I am." They're like, "Truth, no, you're not." He goes, "But there's something else. I'm not the champions alone. There's two titles. So we gotta bring out The Miz." And The Miz comes out and he's like, "Truth, what are you doing? I don't want to be part of Judgment Day. You're not part of Judgment Day. Well, what is going on?" And so Miz gets into the ring. All right, we getting timed out there, Elite, for that shitty ass comment. We're not gonna be fucking disrespectful like that to our world heavyweight champion, calling names and whatnot. No, it's fucked up, guy. Fucked up. Next time it's a ban. You get a 5-minute timeout now. Next time it's a ban. We ain't gonna play that disrespectful stuff here. I get it. Stuff like that was trending yesterday on Twitter. We ain't on Twitter here. We're in a community where we're not gonna talk shit or stupid names like that. I don't even want to repeat what you said. It's so bad. Anyways, Miz gets in the ring and it's Miz and Truth standing here. Oh, Judgment Day standing over here. And Finn was like, "You guys might be the champions now, but you're not going to remain the champions for long. How about you put those titles on the line right here, right now?" And Truth just goes, "We can't, because there's 3 of us." And Miz is like, "3 of us? Wait. Truth, are you talking about little Jimmy?" He goes, "Nah, there's me, you, and the one you can't see over there." And I had been tipped off earlier in the day that Cena may appear on this show tonight. And when he said, "the one you can't see over there," I go, Cena's coming out here. Here comes John Cena. And he's like, 6-man tag. Let's do it. Us 3 against the Judgment Day. And Finn's just looking at him like, "Okay." And JD goes, "So I'm supposed to fight somebody I can't even see? What's going on here?" And they're like, "Screw it. Handicap match. Let's go." And we go straight to commercial break. Come back to the match where he started, and it's a handicap match at the time. It is the tag team champions, the Awesome Truth, against JD McDonough, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor. Also, during this commercial break is when they aired the commercial for the draft as well. So the match is already in progress. And Dominic and JD were working over Truth. Hot tags, not hot tags, but quick tags in and out. McDonough continued to punish Truth with a headlock at one point. Dominic would then tag in, and he continued the attack. He missed a splash at one point in the corner, which allowed Truth to tag in The Miz, who teed off on Dominic in the corner with some kicks and a clothesline. He held Dominic and McDonough for a double DDT in the middle of the ring. Miz tried to go for the skull-crushing finale, and Dominic escaped out. Balor then hit Miz while the referee was distracted by Dom. Raw went to another commercial break with Judgment Day in control of Miz. Raw then returned with Miz doing the best he can in the corner, trying to get the Truth for the tag. Miz created separation by taking out McDonough, but Dom tripped up Truth to prevent the tag as he and Balor attacked Truth at ringside. As McDonough posed in the ring, we then hear, and out comes John Cena. John Cena runs down to the ring, jumps up on the apron, looks around, takes off the hat and shirt or whatever, and give me the tag. Miz then, or Dom runs at Miz with the clothesline. Miz does a front roll under to duck it. John Cena gets tagged in, and there we go. The guy that we couldn't see has arrived. Crowd goes wild for John Cena. He hits the protoplex on McDonough. Miz and Truth then hit protoplexes as well. We then get a 15 knuckle shuffle because all three guys did the 3 knuckle shuffle to one member of Judgment Day each, followed by triple attitude adjustments. And then all 3 men at the same time went for the pin as well. So there we go. Truth, Miz, and John Cena defeat the Judgment Day. Oh, this was a great surprise. Oh, this was so much fun. I loved it. Then we got a recap of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, telling us that the winner was Bronson Reed. And they had to show that spot. The first spot they show from the Battle Royal was goddamn Tozawa almost being killed. So Bronson Reed is there in the back with his trophy. He boasted that he was going to show the 3 other competitors in the number 1 contenders match what, quote, raw dominance really looks like. During Reed's promo, there was glitching on the screen. And in the bottom corner, I'm going to pull it here up on the screen in a second. On the bottom corner, it said, hello. Now, if I pull this image up on the screen, let me grab it here. This is very interesting. And I think I know what this is for, but so this flashed on the screen during the promo. We saw this. And as you see down here in the corner, it says hello. Well, what is another phrase that means hello? Howdy. What in WWE is howdy? The Uncle Howdy. Also, before Raw went on the air, there was like a weird video that played really briefly in the building that made people think it was an Uncle Howdy reference. So we're starting to get those Uncle Howdy Bo Dallas teases, those Taylor Rotunda teases. Looks like Uncle Howdy is coming sooner rather than later. We don't know how long they're going to do these teases for. We don't know how intensely they're going to keep going off with them. If it's every Monday on Raw, if it's Mondays and Fridays, whatnot and so forth. But I think this, and I'll pull it back up on the screen really quickly. I think this was our first tease on television of the return of Uncle Howdy. So as we move forward, there was a promo for Friday Night SmackDown, and they told us that Bayley will be on the show and so forth. Not really much more. Backstage, Ripley and Dominic Mysterio were just walking, and Ripley said, Andrade was the problem that needs to be dealt with, not John Cena. Dominic said that he'll see if Adam Pearce will allow him to have a match with Andrade, and then all of a sudden a chair flies in and hits Rhea in the head. And then all of a sudden, a Liv Morgan flies in and attacks Rhea as well. Morgan's on top of Rhea, beating her down. Referees and officials and Dom separate everybody. The camera then, this is great. The camera goes down at Dom and Rhea. Dom pushes the camera and goes, get out of here. So the camera goes, and then we get a good, cool shot going into the arena. I'm like, oh, that was clever. That was a clever camera shot. I like that, where it's like, oh my God, what's going on with Rhea? Get the close up. And then Dom, get out of here. So I like that a lot. I thought that was a really good camera trick there. Well, not trick, but camera maneuver, I guess you would say. But Michael Cole also said the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour seems to still be fully in motion. This then led to another NXT superstar appearing on the show. It was the NXT Women's Champion, Roxan Perez. She took on Indy Hartwell. And there's history here from a year ago. Remember that ladder match when Indy won the championship because the championship got stripped from Roxanne and this and that and so forth. But yeah, Roxanne versus Indy. Wasn't really much to it, though, if I'm going to be completely honest. So Perez looked like, well, first they looked like they were going to go for a handshake, and then when they reached in, blah, Roxanne slapped her. Puts her in a headlock. Hartwell then threw her down and we went to a break. Perez regained the advantage with a drop kick followed by a series of furious blows and a Russian leg sweep. She tried to work over Hartwell's leg and got pushed aside. Hartwell then had some momentum and attacked the clothesline. She tried to go for a big boot, and then Candice LeRae actually pulled the leg out from Roxanne when the referee wasn't looking, but Indy saw it and got mad. And she yells at Candice, like, what are you doing? Why are you getting involved? What is this? Blah, 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 blah. And that was enough to distract Indy, allow Roxanne to rake the eyes, hit the pop rocks, and pick up the victory. So Roxanne Perez does defeat Indy Hartwell. Candice is super upset with her. She's like, I helped you and you still can't even win? What is going on here? So more tension with that and Candice's cheating ways. We then got a recap of Sami Zayn's miraculous Intercontinental Championship win at WrestleMania before Zayn walked backstage, being congratulated by Jey Uso on his big victory. Commentators mentioned that we'd hear from Zayn next. Roxanne Perez was shown walking around backstage, and she was confronted by Natalya, who said, see you tomorrow on NXT. Well, Natty's coming to NXT again tomorrow. I don't know for what. She's been doing that stuff with Lola Vice. I hope Natty doesn't challenge Roxanne for the belt. I don't want to see that. And we're empty. Sami comes out. New Intercontinental Champion gets a great reaction from the crowd in Philly. He soaks it all in, and the crowd's singing his song. Oh. Crowd starts chanting, Sami, Sami, Sami. Then they transition to, you deserve it. You deserve it. Sami responds by saying how much it meant to him to have this moment. He talked about how he had done some historic things at WrestleMania in the past few years, and this year he wanted to top it. And he acknowledged doing so by defeating Gunther and ending the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship run of all time. Zayn then gave credit to the former Intercontinental Champion Gunther, who held the title, and I shit you not, the 666 days. So if Gunther was supposed to be the evil whatever, he held that title for 666. He said that he couldn't take sole credit for the win, though, and gave credit to the WWE fans, his wife and his child, and Kevin Owens. He said that there was one other guy he needed to thank before being interrupted by Imperium's Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser. Kaiser said that it broke his heart that someone like Zayn was holding the Intercontinental Championship that Gunther spent 2 years holding. He said, quote, congratulations, WWE Universe. Your new Intercontinental Champion looks like a bum. Kaiser said that on behalf of the General, he and Vinci would make this right. As they surrounded Sami, Chad Gable would come up and even the odds. We do have a super chat here from Elite. He does state, Indy vs. Roxanne was the first Gen Z match, and was Roxanne the first 2000 born wrestler on Raw? No. She's not the first wrestler to be born after 2000 on Raw. And I don't know what you mean by the first Gen Z match, because we've had a lot of wrestlers in WWE that have been considered Gen Z wrestlers that have faced each other. I mean, look at NXT. Half, if not more, of that roster are Gen Z. So, yeah. Not sure what you mean there. Thanks for the super chat. So, we go to commercial break, and we get a teaser video for the return of the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. Yes, Sheamus is coming back. Now, they didn't give us any context clues on when he's coming back, whether he's going to be on Raw or SmackDown or so forth. Maybe he doesn't come back to the draft. I don't know. But Sheamus is finally coming back. We haven't seen Sheamus in 8 months. We haven't seen Sheamus on Raw, on SmackDown, on anything in WWE since he had that match with Adam Cole and Edge in Toronto last year on SmackDown in August, I want to say. So yeah, wild, crazy, cool. I can't wait. I've been jonesing for some Celtic Warrior, and he's finally coming back here soon. Don't know how soon, don't know when, don't know where, but he's coming back. They wouldn't have played that video if it wasn't soon. So we had a tag team match. It was Chad Gable and Sami Zayn against Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser. Gable and Vinci started things off in the ring with Alpha Academy having... Wait, what? I read that. I wrote that wrong. Gable and Vinci started things off in the ring. Oh, okay, here we go. And Gable had the advantage. He took Vinci down with a crossbody. Vinci took him down with a crossbody, and Vinci tagged in Kaiser, who continued on the attack of Gable. Gable then found an opening and tagged in Zayn, who countered Kaiser's attack and got to the top rope for a standing elbow. With Zayn in the Imperium corner, though, Vinci would tag in, and he tried his best to stop Zayn's momentum, but to no avail. Gable tagged back in and hit a flying splash on Vinci and Kaiser at ringside. Back in the ring, Gable connected with a flying crossbody on Vinci, while the Imperium duo were working over Sami. The crowd started chanting, "We want beach balls." And I'm like, oh no, not one of these kind of crowds. Please don't. Raw went to a commercial break with Vinci and Kaiser in control. Raw would return from break, and Gable was fighting off Kaiser and Vinci in the ring. He had Vinci isolated and hit a flying headbutt for a near fall. He went back up for a moonsault, but Vinci avoided it. Gable tried to go for the Chaos Theory suplex, but Kaiser tagged in and tried his best to stop everything. He and Vinci then did a double team move, and then, well, Sami broke up the pin. Gable then avoided Calamity as he and Zayn hit serial German suplexes on Kaiser and Vinci. Excuse me. Try not to burp into the mic. Zayn then tagged himself into the match and applied an ankle lock on Vinci. Kaiser then took out Gable on the apron and broke Zayn's ankle lock. Things then broke down in a four-way with all the men brawling, and then it boiled back down to just Vinci and Zayn. Vinci got crushed with an exploder suplex as Zayn tagged in Gable. He then hit the haluva kick. Chad hit the Chaos Theory suplex, and he told him pin him, and he pinned him 1, 2, 3. So Sami lets Chad get the victory here in the tag team match, and they're victorious over Imperium. Not the last we see of these two, as we'll see more of them in a little bit. We get another recap of WrestleMania, Philadelphia, focusing on the Street Fight and the Usos. Which the Usos match was the worst match of the weekend, I will say that. I did not like the Usos match at all. Like, I can't say that. It wasn't a horrible match or anything. It just wasn't that good. But then got words from Jey Uso. Basically just said that he's going to win the #1 contenders match tonight. Elsewhere, Andrade was shown shaking hands with Raw General Manager Adam Pearce, NXT General Manager Ava, and SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis. They discussed the upcoming draft before Chelsea Green would barge in. She complained about not having a match at WrestleMania, and then Pearce and Aldis were like, "We got you. You want a match tonight? Because I want to fight someone tonight special that is worthy of facing me, a star." And then Nick Aldis is like, "I think I have somebody for you." Commentary then talked about the 17 consecutive television sellouts. And there was a map that showed everywhere they had gone for all 17 of those shows, including the 4 in Philadelphia. SmackDown, 2 nights of Mania, and tonight. Then, Chelsea Green gets her match with her mystery opponent, Jade Cargill. Jade comes down to the ring to a great reaction. And the referee's like, "Are you ready? You ready?" And Chelsea's like, "Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. I'm going to take her out. I'm going to beat her." She starts mouthing off. Bell rings. She gets destroyed. Big boot. Lifted up. Jaded 1, 2, 3. Match is over. So they can't keep hiding Jade anymore, but they are going to keep her limited, it looks like. Looks like Jade is just going to be squashing people for a little while. Because it's like, she's been around since what, last August? No, October, September, whenever the Fastlane pay-per-view was. That's when Jade came in. And it's like, okay, well, we've seen her at the Rumble. She wrestled at WrestleMania. You can't keep hiding her anymore. And I get it. She might not be that good, but she's good enough to have a good 60-second match. But then what? We're going to start getting those, and Jade's only working short matches. That's not fair, and this and that. And it's like, well, they're squash matches. They're enhancement matches. They just show us that she's a dominant force and this and that. But I don't know. People get mad when they make the women work short matches, but it's like this one makes sense. So we'll see. But they kept Jade very short and limited. There was another from some WrestleMania 40 recap. This one showed Stephanie McMahon's return as well as Bayley and Io Sky. Sami Zayn was then backstage. He walks up on Alpha Academy and says, hey, can you give us a second, me and Chad? And so they all leave. And Sami was like, I know I told you that I owed you for helping me, get ready for the match with Gunther. We're good, right? I let you win tonight. Chad's like, excuse me? And Sami goes, I'm just screwing with you. No, I know we're not good. You want this. And he holds up the Intercontinental Championship. He then tells Chad, how about next week in my hometown of Montreal, you and me for the Intercontinental title? Chad's like, let's do it. So it does get announced later that it will be Sami versus Chad Gable for the IC title next week on Raw. We also do know that we will be getting Andrade versus Dominic Mysterio. So Drew McIntyre comes out, and this is when I realized, okay, 30 minutes left in the show. Drew McIntyre was first to enter, and he asked for a microphone. And oh boy, I love me an enraged, pissed off Scottish warrior. This was good. That he gave respect to Seth Rollins for going out on his Shield last night, as he then turned his attention to Damian Priest and the Money in the Bank contract. He said the briefcase is something that screwed him over one too many times, because he's been cashed in on twice. Think about it. McIntyre then addressed CM Punk's actions last night as well, calling him a coward for costing him the world title. He said that it would be on site. He said that it would be on site for Punk the next time he saw him. Basically, he's like, I'm going to kill Punk. He kept going before, he was interrupted by Jey Uso, and we go to commercial break. Come back, and the match had already started. McIntyre was fighting Jey, while Ricochet was fighting Bronson Reed. With Reed, Jey, and McIntyre outside the ring, Ricochet took the three men down with the high-risk maneuver off the top rope. And literally, not even a minute and a half later, we're back at commercial. We return, and everyone's fighting, and there's a table now set up in the corner, and I go, where the hell did that table come from? Jey sent McIntyre to the outside. Reed then flattened him with a running elbow drop. Reed then ran Jey into the corner with a fierce hip charge. He eyed the table in the corner and tried to powerbomb Jey, who briefly fought out of it. He tried to spear Bronson Reed through the table, but he couldn't get the spear on him because Bronson Reed's too big. They said he's like trying to go through a wall, and you can't go through a wall, concrete wall at least. So then Reed picks him up. He slams him into Ricochet, who tried to jump up on the apron, and then crashes him down through the table. Jay's dead through the table. Another commercial break. Come back from the break, and Reed and Ricochet are fighting in the ring. They then showed clips of action that took place during the break that we missed in the picture-in-picture. Ricochet was caught by McIntyre and thrown across the ring. Literally, he grabbed Ricochet and just threw him. And then McIntyre's on his knees, and he crawls over to Bronson Reed, who has Ricochet. And he throws Ricochet at McIntyre. McIntyre goes, whoop, and dodges Ricochet. Ricochet's just getting ragged and ragdolled. So, Reed then responds with the Beal. The two meaty men, I guess you would call them, are exchanging chops as McIntyre lifted Reed up for a Michinoku driver, but Jey breaks up the pin. All four men are inside the ring with Ricochet and Jey hitting a super kick on McIntyre before being joined by Reed for a triple super kick. Brief exchange between Ricochet and Jay ended with Reed clotheslining Ricochet and getting hit with the spear by Jay. McIntyre then stopped the count as all four men were laid out in the ring. McIntyre then tried to superplex Jay, who fought out and trapped McIntyre in the Tree of Woe position. McIntyre then managed to throw Jay aside, and Reed hit a buckle bomb on him. Reed then tried to go to the top for the tsunami, but McIntyre intercepted him. Reed leapt with the senton on McIntyre before clearing the Spanish announce table. McIntyre then hit Reed with a Glasgow kiss, and so Reed was laid out on the Spanish announce table. Uso then took out McIntyre, and Ricochet's in the ring looking down. Ricochet then jumps up onto the top rope, springboards off with a 450, and sends Bronson Reed through the table. So these two laid out. Jay and McIntyre, the last two men standing in the ring. McIntyre had Jay seized up and ready to go for the Claymore. He had him down, dead to rights. He does the 1, 2. As his hand's going up for the 3, someone grabs his leg, and we realize, oh my God, it's CM Punk. This then leads to Jay running over and hitting a super kick. McIntyre falls down. Uso splash, 1, 2, 3. Jey Uso's Union No More Contender. CM Punk screwed Drew McIntyre. So Jey Uso celebrating his big win. Punk jumps up on the announce table and starts doing the thing for the Jey Uso. And he is so happy with himself. CM Punk is so happy that he just screwed Drew again. And that's how the show goes off the air. I loved it. I loved CM Punk screwing McIntyre. I thought it was chef's kiss perfect. But with that, now I want to know what you guys thought of the show. You heard my ranting for an hour. Now let's get the poll going here. What did you think of Raw? I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. Let me know if you're watching on Twitch what you thought of tonight's Raw as we go refresh these other polls. As far as the Threads poll does go, 76% liked the show, 18% thought it was just all right, and 6% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter poll, 75% liked the show, 15% thought it was just all right, and 8% didn't like it. YouTube community poll did not post again. It did this the other night where it posted and now it's not there. Very weird. No community poll. Looking at the YouTube live poll, though, 85% liked the show, 10% thought it was just all right, and 6% didn't like it. And finally, everybody that voted on Twitch liked the show. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. We got NXT tomorrow. If there's any news from NXT, we will bring it to you. We're not doing a review or anything. We never review NXT. But if there is news coming out of tomorrow's NXT, we will let you guys know because we're coming off of, you know, the big Stand and Deliver show and all of that. And so, yeah, we got NXT tomorrow. Then we will be back here live on Wednesday talking about AEW Dynamite. That should be an interesting show, especially with the footage they want to show from All In and what that could lead to. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. With that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Have a good one, guys.